3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Piero Venturi, and I'm the EU Science Counselor to the African Union. I'm talking to you from Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, and I will moderate this 2 hours event on the new calls on energy of Horizon Europe, the new calls for the work program 2023-2024 with a strong focus on Africa. We will have a 2 hours full program that will start with the opening remarks from the African Union Commission and from the European Union Delegation to the African Union. Then will be followed by a full analysis of the topics for of Horizon Europe. We will have then a presentation of the activities of the project LEAP-RE, and then an analysis of the info tools available in EURAXESS. Then we will listen some testimonials that will tell us how was their experience working with European projects. And we will have plenty of time for questions and answers from your side. That said, I'm very glad to give the floor to the first speaker, that is Dr. Monica Idinoba, that is a principal investigator of the Department of Education, Science, Technology and Innovation of the African Union Commission. Monica, please, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Piero, and good afternoon, distinguished participants. On behalf of the African Union Commission, we are pleased to be part of this training session of the Horizon Europe with focusing on energy. First, I thank the European Union for having this training section in the different languages. Over the past days and week, we have had various sessions with the various groups across the continent. And for us, with the African Union Commission, this regional dynamics is very important, and we welcome development to ensure equal opportunity to all. Colleagues, going down the history lane, I am pleased to reiterate that after the adoption of the EU-Africa Joint Strategic Partnership by our heads of state and governments of both Europe and Africa in Lisbon in December 2007, the European Union and the African Union Commission have remained committed to the implementation cooperation, which continues to serve as a solid framework for a long-term, systematic, and also a well-integrated cooperation. This has opened unique opportunities for us to address common contemporary challenges together. One of such is what we are also doing here, focusing on energy. For the African Union Commission, the various actions identified within the Horizon Europe work program is direct and innovative way of implementing our African Agenda 2063. I would like to recall that this kind of program is not new in our partnership. I would also like to state here that, within the partnership of the African Union, Europe, HITV roadmap of food and nutritional security and sustainable energy, the Commission of the African Union has been enabled to implement continental programs that has ensured South-North and South-South cooperation in research. And within this package, the African Union have benefited the sum of 43,000 euros has been allocated for research across the continent of Africa. Therefore, we have no doubt that this current Horizon Europe work program, which is focusing on energy, will also contribute, to enhance research capacity in Africa. Colleagues, to conclude, I would like to again thank the European Union for its support to Africa to deploy science and technology for socio-economic development of the continent. With these few remarks, I wish you all good successes as you participate in the course. Thank you very much. Over to you, Pierre.
Many thanks, Dr. Monica, for setting up the political vision of our African Union, European Union cooperation
in research and innovation. I now pass the floor to Riccardo Mosca, that is the Deputy Head of Delegation of the EU Delegation to the African Union. Riccardo, please, you have the floor.
If you can open your mic.
Can you hear me?
Perfect.
Can you hear me?
Perfect.
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
No.
We can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Thank you, Piero. Thank you also to Dr. Monica for her first intervention. I'm very glad to be here today with you for this important, I would say, explanatory moment, because I think here today it's about explaining to all the potential candidates to the program how to participate and how to have better chance to be part of the innovation program. And so I'm happy to be here from Addis Ababa, and I would like to take this opportunity to say a few words to set a political view and explain why our EU-Africa cooperation is getting stronger and stronger, particularly in the field of research and innovation. Last November, the two commissions of the African Union and the EU took stock of the implementation of the commitment made at the summit in Brussels. Our exchanges have confirmed that we are on the right track and are already producing results. The new Africa Union EU Ministerial Committee will be in charge of following up on the commitments made at the summit. And its first session will take place in 2023. I hope as soon as possible in 2023, on the sidelines of the next annual ministerial meeting between the European Union and the African Union. In the spirit of the EU summit a year ago, the European Union supports African partners in their call for an overall overhaul of the system of global governance in the direction of better representation of the African continent. As such, the EU has given its support for permanent seats, for instance, at the African Union and the G20. We believe that the African Union should be more present in the international arena, and this is why we're supporting all the efforts from the institution to be there and to be heard and to pass its own continental messages. The role played by research and innovation is an essential part of this process. The European Union's cooperation with Africa aims to promote actions, targets to finding locally adapted solutions to challenges facing the continent. These challenges manifest in public health, climate change, food security, as well as sustainable energy, amongst others. And as the world is now becoming one global village, the need to have a collective approach to address these challenges is even more important, I would say. The European Union supports to research and innovation, aims to assist in finding solutions to some of these challenges. That is why science, technology, and innovation is an important component of the European Union and African Union partnership, an essential component. As you are aware, the conference marked the launch of the African Initiative 2, that is to cover the work program 2023-2024, which is follow-up to the first African Initiative 1 under the Research and Innovation Program, Horizon Europe. Africa participated intensively and successfully to the Africa Union Initiative number 1, the previous one, where with, I think it was 184 African entities participated, with a total EU contribution to research innovation of around 83.7 million euro. This is an action coordinated by the European Union Africa Union High-Level Policy Dialogue in Science, Technology and Innovation, where African and European member states work together. Coordinated by the European Union and the African Union Commission, the best actions are identified for the common advantage. It must be remarked that it is a win-win that those scientific committees must take advantage of. Of course, I mean, both sides will get advantage of this close cooperation between the two continents and between the actors, entities, universities, students, researchers, professors, etc., etc. So this session will give you an opportunity to learn more about the call for proposal available under this initiative. You will hear about testimonials who will describe their experience working in European projects and also discuss any query that you could be having on the program. So take advantage of this moment to ask whatever you all the curiosity and all the understanding to better participate to this program. It is with great hope that the program being presented today will provide universities, researchers, innovators, and investors with the tool needed to accelerate innovation and improve the quality of research. I therefore welcome you to this session and hope that it will be really have a major impact to the future of the research of Africa. And I thank you very much and have a good work.
Thanks very much, Riccardo, for setting up the general overview about Horizon Europe, the Africa Innovation, the Africa Initiative #2, and the broad expectation that we all have about the program. Now it's time to get more into detail about energy. And for this reason, I'm very glad to give the floor to my colleague, Philip Schild, that is, no need to present it, is a senior expert in the Clean Energy and Transition Unit of DG Research and Innovation. And from Brussels, he will present us the topics that will be part of the new work program 2023-24. Philip, please go ahead.
Thank you, Piero. Just a minute just to share my screen. So thank you all, and thank you for the introduction and the setting up of the framework on which we are working. I hope that you do see my presentation and hear me correctly. So I will start briefly by presenting you Horizon Europe Framework Program. So it is a 7-year program organized in several types of actions. As you see, we have a specific program dedicated to the European Defence Fund. So this is not the talk of today. And then also another set on the Euratom program, which is focusing on research and innovation in the nuclear research activities. The main and the core of our activity on Horizon Europe is organized around 3 pillars. Pillar 1 is on focusing on excellent science, where you will find European Research Council, which are focusing on single investigator grants, the Marie Sklodowska-Curie grants, which are mobility of researchers and research infrastructure. The third pillar, pillar 3, focusing on innovative Europe, where we have the European Innovation Council, European Innovation Ecosystem, and the European Institute of Innovation and Technology, which are more looking at market-ready and higher TRL activities, where we are focusing our presentation today is on pillar 2, on global challenge, European industrial competitiveness, where we have focusing on what we call cluster. And today I will focus on the activity on the cluster climate, energy, and mobility. So Horizon Europe, over the 7 years, we have almost 96 billion euros to spend. That includes sort of 5.4 billion from the Next Generation Europe in terms of EU funding instrument for the recovery from the COVID-19 crisis. And you see the distribution in this budget across what you saw. You saw that the famous pillar 2, the global challenge and European industry competitiveness part have more than 50% of the budget. So it's really a central part of our activities. So now going to what we call cluster 5, because we are the 5th on the list on climate, energy, and mobility. What our legal base and our focus on research are looking at climate science and solution, energy supply, energy system and grids, building an industrial facility in the energy transition, communities and cities, industrial competitiveness is transport, clean, safe, and accessible transport and mobility, smart mobility, and without forgetting it, energy storage. This is the cluster 5, the climate, energy, mobility. We have 15 billions over the 7 years program. And this activities is divided into what we call our work program. This is where we define specific topics and calls that you can apply between institutional partnership, which are public-private partnerships. In energy, we have only one. We have the clean hydrogen partnerships, and also on mission, and where we have mission on cities and climate adaptation and ocean. So to repeat a bit the framework on where we define our topics and our activity between Africa and the EU in terms of research and innovation, it's based on the dialogue that we have with the African Union. And it's the EU high-level policy dialogues. They have defined priorities area for research cooperation. There is three. The FNSSA, which is food and nutrition security and sustainable agriculture. There is a climate change and sustainable energy, and the innovation 2019 partnership. There is another activity or partnership which is related to it. It's the European and Developing Country Clinical Trial Partnership, the EDCTP. What we are focusing today, the presentation, is on the climate change and sustainable energy. There, it was sort of launched in November 2017. It is based on a roadmap that is composed of two elements. One is on climate action for adaptation and mitigation, and the second is on sustainable energy, focusing only on renewable energy and energy efficiency. On this link, you can have access to this roadmap in more details. But basically, in terms of renewable energy, is covering generation, distribution of renewable energy. I'd like to present you the current status. First, on the graph, you see that since 2017, we have quite a picking up of a number of projects, accumulating in a sense in 2020. That was the last year of the Horizon program, Horizon 2020. We have currently, in total, 23 running projects with accumulated EC funding to our African partners of about 25.7 million euros, and the total EC funding project about 203 million. I think the numbers which are very important are, in fact, the number of partners. We have 138 partners, but most importantly, we have 28 countries participating. So, and this is stuff what these pictures give you, that while we have obviously 3 countries which are quite heavily involved in our projects, which are Kenya, Morocco, and South Africa, the distribution is also quite well spread over the other African countries. So we have a good outreach on the continent. So, and this is why all our topics are really focused continental wide and not specific on a specific region. I'd like to present you very briefly, because the following speaker will go in more details. It's a LIPRE project, which is our flagship project with for our cooperation with Africa. It is a joint program of activities with a long-term perspective. It is organized on the 3 pillars. The first one, they are doing joint call for proposal with African and European agencies, and they have funded already through a first call 13 projects. There is a second call in process. The second pillar are in fact 8 direct research actions by consortium members to do research in energy. And the third pillar, besides managing the project, is also looking at the future long-term collaboration and also clustering and creating an African and European network of researchers. It has 31 countries participating, 83 organizations, so it's a huge project. The total project cost is 32.5 million, and the EC funding is about 15 million. So you see, this is a co-fund action. This is really a share of effort between Africa and Europe. So now the work program 23-24. I will focus really mainly on the two first. Our work program is divided in what we call destination 1 to 6. 1 to 4 are energy-related destination, but I will focus on topics dedicated to Africa activities, which are on destination 1 on climate science, which is looking at transition to a climate neutral and resilient society and economy enabled through advanced climate science. Destination 2, which is looking at clean and sustainable transition of the energy and transport sectors toward climate neutrality and its cross-cutting solution, and destination 3, which are looking more at energy supply and energy distribution. I will just present you this sort of the EU policy, which are the background of our work program, which are on the European Green Deal. It's that the majority of our topic is contributing to the Green Deal objectives, also to develop an economy which have work for the people, to have the digitalization of our energy system, to build a stronger Europe in the world. This is where we have our international collaboration through mission innovation, which is sort of a network of activity of about 25, I think, countries around the world to promote and push forward clean energy technologies. And also, going without saying, it's the EU-Africa collaboration. And also a new push for European democracy. This is a strong focus on citizen engagement and mainstreaming of social science and humanities across many of the topics that we have. What was important at the EU level, it's last year and it's continuing this year, is a contribution to the communication about Repower EU, which are looking at developing cheaper and more performant renewable energy technologies, and we are covering all the renewable energies, to have more flexible and resilient energy grids, and to have better and smarter energy storage solution. And this, we are doing it in terms of energy efficiency, of having more efficient building stock, an increase of energy efficiency in industry, to have more efficient mobility solution, and to have cleaner and more efficient transport mode. From the renewable energy part, we have the broad portfolio of renewable energy technologies that we are developing. We have contributing to the biomethane action plan, and also to help maturing hydrogen-based solution. This is developed through also some flagship, one which could be also of interest, but it's not focused on Africa, is renewable energy valleys, which is to increase energy security while accelerating the green transition in Europe. The hydrogen power aviation, cost-effective decarbonization of buildings, developing a digital twins of the EU electricity systems, to the demonstration of innovative large-scale and seasonal heat and cooling storage technologies, and new sustainable neutral fuels in waterborne transport. We have also the two big strategies that we have on the EU hydrogen strategy, where we want to cover the whole chain of value chain, at the work program level, and also through the Clean Hydrogen Joint Undertaking. And into the solar strategy, where we want to push stuff covering areas like concentrated solar power systems, photovoltaics, and solar heat and power. So overall, this is the structure of the Cluster 5 program, about those 6 destinations. And I highlighted sort of where we have topics currently that have activities with climate, with Africa. And having mentioned that Africa is an important partner for those topics. So that's one on destination 1, climate science. There is one on destination 2 on batteries. And there is one on destination 3 in renewable energy. It doesn't mean that if you look through our work program, you may find topics that is of interest, and you can join also top consortium in the making for those. So the topic highlights for the 2023 deadlines. So I'll start with the climate science, which are the first topic is on need-based adaptation to climate change in Africa. There, the focus is to improve the knowledge base of climate science, to increase accessibility of the data, to enhance the uptake of the information and the climate services by end user, spanning from policymakers, governmental agency, local authority, civil society, private sectors. And in that topic, the focus is in sub-Saharan Africa. I do advise, because there is just an extract of the topic, that you read the full topics. The expected outcome for that topic is an accelerated deployment of climate services to build climate resilience, to be better informed about climate adaptation policy response, stronger adaptive capacity and climate resilience in Africa, and with a focus, as I said, on sub-Saharan region. Is to improve synergy between adaptation actions and other policy objectives, notably on the Sustainable Development Goals agenda. It is to contribute to the international dimension of the EU adaptation strategy and to the Africa-EU partnership. The knowledge base to underpin also major international scientific assessment, such as the APCC assessment report. The type of action is a research and innovation. The topic itself has an indicative budget of 10 millions, and the estimation of budget per project is 5 millions. So you see that they're expecting to have about 2 projects funded. The call is open, and the deadline is on 18 April 2023. There is specific eligibility condition that the consortium must include at least 3 entities established in at least 2 different sub-Saharan African countries. And if the project is using satellite-based Earth observation, they should make use of Copernicus or Galileo or EGNOS. The second topic on climate science is technology for sustainable and coefficient low carbon, no, sorry, that's the battery topic, is on technology for sustainable, cost-efficient, and low-carbon footprint downstream processing and production of battery-grade materials. It's a long title, and it's under the battery partnership. And the scope is the proposal are expected to cover research and innovation activity with the focus on improved battery metal and material production, refining, recovery, while minimizing environmental impact and downstream processes by addressing a number of points. It's a very long topic, but the most important things is this sentence in red in the topic is international cooperation with Africa, the Mediterranean region, and the United States is encouraged, which means that they are asking the consortium to look at possible participation from those 3 regions. This is also a research and innovation actions. The total planned budget is 21 million, and the contribution per project is 7 million. So they're looking at about 3 projects. And the call deadline is also on 18 April 2023. There you have also as eligibility condition additional that if the project use satellite-based Earth observation, they have to make use of Copernicus or Galileo or EGNOS. The second topic in the battery, it's a hybrid electric energy storage solution for grid support and charging infrastructure. The objective is to design, demonstrate at least 3 different use cases of an hybrid energy storage system capable of long duration storage and of provision of multiple services for supporting the electrical grid and the electrical vehicle charging infrastructure. Again, please read the full description. And again, here, there is a stress on international cooperation with the USA, Australia, Africa, or India. At least to encourage. So again, the topic is asking the consortium to look at possible international cooperation partners for this topic. There, it is also research and innovation actions. The overall budget for this topic is 12 million, and the project size is seen to be about 6 million. So we're looking here at a possible two projects. And again, the deadline is on 18 April 2023. Same eligibility condition regarding satellite-based Earth observation. Sorry, I see a mistake on the slides, but it's okay. The title is wrong, but it's okay. So now we are going to the energy part. And the energy part, we have one topic on accelerating the green transition and energy access in Africa. There, I put the scope basically on bullet, is to demonstrate an innovative, sustainable, renewable energy solution that will improve climate adaptation and mitigation potential compared to other technology and solution in the African social, economic, and environmental context. And the demonstration has to be located in Africa. It can cover either the urbanized or the rural context of Africa. It covers the scope of the design, the construction, the commissioning, and the operation of the demonstration of the installation. It has also to develop and implement a tailored value chain approach to include the identification of any technical, vocational, and educational needs. It would include a life cycle analysis showing the impact of the proposed solution when compared to other technologies and solutions. And it will also contribute to the African Union, European Union collaborative research action on climate change and sustainable energy. And in particular with collaboration with the Project Libre. The expected outcome is to have a technologically reliable and economically viable renewable energy solution by 2030, to improve climate adaptation and climate mitigation potential of the solution compared to other technologies and solutions, to strengthen the joint EU climate change and sustainable energy collaborative partnership efforts, with an emphasis of improving the visibility of EU science diplomacy in Africa. To have a proven positive environmental, health, climate, social, and economic impact of the renewable energy solution, and to help the acceleration of the achievement of the African country targets of the Paris Agreement. This is a different type of action as before. It's an innovation action. So we're looking at really a demonstration of the technology. And we expect that the technology readiness level will reach about 7 by the end of the project, to lead therefore after the next step, after this project, to really market ready or near market ready project and technology. There, the EU contribution in total is 20 million. We're looking at an estimated budget per project about 5 million. So we're looking at about 4 projects. There, the call deadline is a bit earlier than the other topics. It's on the 30th of March, so in 2 months' time. And the additional eligibility condition is that at least two entities established that we should have at least two entities established in at least one of the African Union members that must be part of the consortium. The core structure here, you have the list of all the deadlines, and the topics that I mentioned are all quite the first calls of the work program 23-24, with a deadline either end of March or mid-April. So the important website are the national contact points. So this is sort of the step that if you would like to connect and to join some of the activities. Also, I advise also to look at our Information Day website where that was recorded, and you can listen to our Information Days information, and the funding and tender portal where you get all the information that you can have on our Horizon Europe programs. That's a major sort of also link, and I thank you for your attention.
Many thanks, Philippe, for your exhaustive presentation. I think there will be a lot of discussions on the topics, a lot of questions and answers. And on this purpose, I would suggest the attendees that have specific questions already to write them in the questions and answers box. So this facilitate also our discussion later. That said, I'm happy to give the floor to Leonard Levesque, LGI of LIPRE, and that will report of LIPRE activities. Leonard, please, you have the floor.
Thank you, Piero. Thank you to the organizers, and especially Philippe Schill, who invited me to take the floor today. So my name is Leonard Levesque. I am French, working for LGI, which is a private company headquartered in Paris, France. And we currently are coordinating the long-term Euro-African partnership on renewable energy. Between, by definition, Europe and Africa, and this has been slightly presented by Philippe in his presentations a few minutes ago. So basically, LIPRE has been designed as one of the implementation elements of the high-level policy dialogue on climate change and sustainable energy. Do you confirm you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen. Thanks.
Okay. So this program is gathering a lot of organization. Actually, we have 85 partner organizations after our last amendment. But actually, our ambition is to develop a long-term platform for collaboration between Europe and Africa when it comes to research and innovation in the field of renewable energy. So we now are in the process of thinking also about not only addressing renewable energy, but expanding the topic to sustainable energy and also climate change issues. So this is quite an ambitious program. That's why we need an ambitious consortium and field of experimentation. So we are intervening both on the European and African continents. You have here a map of the countries that are involved. And the program is led so by my company in France and co-coordinated by the Ministry of Innovation in South Africa, the Department of Science and Innovation, the DSI, in Pretoria. And basically we aim at involving different beneficiaries and target groups, mainly academic and researchers, because they are the main beneficiaries of the projects we are funding and implementing, but also policymakers, industry, private sector, and of course we also try to have an impact on the local involvement of communities, especially when it comes to rural areas, And I take profit also to say hello to some of the colleagues involved in LIPRI in this meeting today. I see Joel from the University of Vasa in Finland and Laura from Paul Médé in France, who are project partners. Among others, here is the rough list of project partners. So the main objective of LIPRI are the following. But basically, this comes from a mutual commitment to act in renewable energy by adopting the roadmap for the EU Research and Innovation Partnership on Climate Change and Sustainable Energy, so the so-called CCSE. And within this roadmap, LIPRI acts in order to follow an approach threefold. First is to joint develop a strategic framework for collaboration on science, technology, and innovation in support to the climate change and sustainable energy process. Then we also have a mechanism in the program which aims at establishing the jointly developed, own and govern research and innovation framework that in the future needs to be formalized into a long-term partnership. So this format, the way it is conceived, aims at reducing the fragmentation and aims at aligning bilateral and multilateral frameworks. So we have actually a high policy ambition that resonates in the way we have been organizing the program. So basically, we have one track which is dedicated to co-fund actions. So basically, these are national authorities, ministries, funding agencies, both in Europe and in Africa, that are gathered around the organization of specific call for projects. So as Philippe Schill previously mentioned, we have been organizing since the beginning of the project, which started by the end of 2020, two call for projects. So the first one has allowed us to select 13 projects. They are available by following the link here. Maybe I will circulate this presentation and the links in the chat or through EURAXESS and yourself, Piero, to be circulated with the audience. But here, what you have to keep in mind is that we have our own capacity to launch and manage call for projects. So we have been in 2022 selecting 13 new projects that all are addressing the topics of renewable energy, but also wider topics related to geothermal resources, modern cooking technologies, rural electrifications, smart standalone solutions for rural areas, and so on and so forth. So this model of co-fund action is quite attractive in the sense that the funding agencies that are gathered in this pillar under the authority of the French National Research Agency and of the Algerian Ministry of Research and Higher Education, they are willing to continue this effort. And that's why we have been launching a second call for project, which is currently closed. We are in the selection process. The new projects will be selected by the end of March, in 2 months approximately, 1.5 months. And we can anticipate the fact that maybe between 7 and 13 projects could be funded. Actually, I cannot tell you exactly the number of projects because there is a selection committee with an international review panel that is has to evaluate these projects. But in any case, this co-funding track is very operative, and we are looking forward also to expanding this process of organizing call for projects within LIPRI mechanism. And that's why having the possibility today to speak in this workshop is also a great opportunity for us to promote what we are doing and to open the floor to maybe additional contributors that could be especially located in Africa, because so far you see that we are working with Algeria, Morocco, Southern Africa, and Togo, but we are looking forward to involving new funding agencies and funders within this process, especially considering the numbers, the figures that you presented, Philippe, coming from Kenya, from Tunisia and Rwanda, who are very active, were very active in Horizon 2020, and who still are active in these mechanisms. So if you are interested, if you want to involve your country in this process, please do get in touch with our team in South Africa and myself. On another hand, we are currently implementing since 2020 8 research and innovation projects. So 2 of them, they are represented today, namely Leopard, represented by Paul Médé, and Energy Village, represented by University of Vaasa. So just to give a small insight on this topic, the Leopard project, for instance, aims at disseminating microgrid technology by designing a containerized solution for renewable energy production, mainly in rural and peri-urban areas, and also targeting Francophone Africa and Western Africa area. On another hand, Energy Village project focuses on decarbonizing rural regions in some villages in Botswana and Kenya, if I am not mistaken, but if he has the possibility, maybe Joel can say a word afterwards. So the approach is not the same that for the co-funding part, sorry, in the sense that these projects, they are operative since the beginning of LIPRI in 2020. So they are considered as work packages, but now we are not talking about pillar or work package because it is very internal mechanism. We are talking about a project of 21 projects in our portfolio. So I really encourage you to have a look to our website, in which we detail all these projects who are all focusing on different technologies and topics. So these topics, they have been identified in a preparatory phase before 2020. And the topics that we are following so far, so in the LEAP RE, so I'm not talking about the potential LEAP CCSE, climate change and sustainable energy, that could be an evolution of our program. But let's say that at this stage, we are only targeting the renewable energy topics, which are the following. To map joint research and innovation action for the renewable energy development, to focus also on recycling, on end of life and second life management of renewable energy components. We also have a lot of projects and activities related to smart standalone systems, especially when it comes to solar cooking. Indeed, we have a track on domestic uses and innovative solutions for domestic uses, targeting clean cooking, but also cold chain. And we have finally an important track dedicated to smart grids at different scales for off-grid application. So the 21 projects we have currently in the portfolio, they are also relying on another team of partners who is here to support the way we maximize the outcomes of LIPRI project and the way we try to register this process over the long run. The project officially will finish by 2025, but we are now in the process of defining what is our offer, what LIPRI as a platform would be able to deliver for the European Commission, its general directorates, but also for the African Union Commission, from the member states, of course, both in Europe and in Africa. So we are in direct contact, for instance, with the EU delegation since a few months. And our ambition is to develop the following priorities. So namely to link the research outputs which are going out from the projects with the policy needs So to create or to sustain or to strengthen this connection between the academic outputs of our project and the policy agenda of the member states in Africa and Europe. Also to contribute to the elaboration of a technology infrastructure roadmap for research and innovation when it comes to sustainable energy in Africa, to provide exchange and matchmaking possibilities for scientists, but not only, also for policymakers or for innovators, entrepreneurs, and so on. So this is one of the highest ambition of LIPRI. We would like also to foster scientific communication on climate change by using digital services and digital tools. I will slightly show you what we are currently developing in this extent. We would like also to foster the market uptake by fostering the commercialization of research outputs. So that's why we are trying to work in closer collaboration with innovators, investors, industry, and also potential private sector funders. And we would like also to increase our technology readiness level to have the capacity to address more innovation and implement breakthrough technologies that could then enhance the African industry competitiveness. So this is the ambition of the platform. To do so, so far we have some we have a supporting team in terms of community management, which mainly consists in managing a digital tool, which is the one I am currently displaying through this slide. So if you are interested, you are invited to log in to lipri.app to create and activate your account. So far, we have 250 active members. But the ambition of such a tool is to have the maximum audience when it comes to sustainable energy research and innovation in Africa and Europe. So feel free to have a look to it. And in addition, we would like to organize an event in Kigali, Rwanda, by next October. So here the dates are not confirmed yet, from the 10th to the 13th of October. We would like to take profit of this forum, which will focus on presenting our intermediary results coming from our project portfolio, so 21 ongoing projects, but also maybe the 10 new projects to be selected that could kick off at this occasion. And we would like to collaborate with two, so this will be, as you understood, a LIPRI focused conference. So mainly it will gather the scientific community, researcher, academics, and so on. But we are discussing both with the European Commission and African Union Commission to enlarge this process by having also a policy session dedicated to climate change and sustainable energy in Africa. This is under discussion so far. So I really I'm optimistic that we are going to succeed in having such an ambition, but this is not confirmed yet. And on another hand, in our partner, we are working with an innovation catalyst, which is based in Abuja in Nigeria, called AfriLabs. And AfriLabs organizes each year an annual gathering, innovators, SMEs, startups, funders, venture capitalists, business angels, and so on, mainly in the field of tech and innovation. And this year, they will organize their event the same week. So as we are in close collaboration and the same partnership, we will certainly do this event in common. So if you are interested in taking an active role in this process, in contributing to designing the agenda and the practicalities of such a forum, I invite you to get in touch with me and with the coordination team of LIPRI. And that's it. So I will stop my presentation here. And of course, I remain in the back if you have any question or remark about my presentation. Back to you, Piero. Thank you.
Many thanks. Well, I always heard about Libri. I had a very basic knowledge, but the first time I attended this kind of presentations, and it's really a big and complicated project full of different options for everyone. Very, very interesting. Thanks for this, Leonard. And well, we all know that you will be available for questions also later. Now we move to EURAXESS, and I take advantage of this to just reply one of the questions. The video of this event will be made available by EURAXESS in the website. So if you miss some part, or you have some trouble to get connected, no worries, you can watch all the video another time. Let's say I'm glad to pass the floor to Hamed, that is the desk for EURAXESS Africa, and will give us a view about the many activities of EURAXESS. Please go ahead, Hamed.
Thank you, Del Piero. You see my screen?
Yes, but not on full screen.
And now? Yeah, and now?
Now
It's
it's,
okay.
now it's perfect, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. So today I will present EURAXESS Africa. First of all, I would like to introduce EURAXESS Worldwide. So EURAXESS Worldwide is an initiative of the European Commission established with the aim to provide free access to information about research in Europe, opportunities for research funding, international collaboration, and transnational mobility. It links researchers in worldwide to Europe. Furthermore, the network is open to all nationalities and research fields. So the main tasks of EURAXESS Africa, first of all, management and development of the EURAXESS Africa network. This includes building partnerships with African research institutions and organizations, as well as promoting research mobility between Africa and Europe, and support for African researchers. This includes providing information, advice, and assistance to African researchers who are interested in pursuing their careers in Europe, as well as supporting the career development of African researchers who are already working in Europe, and promoting European research opportunities in Africa, such Horizon Europe in Pillar 1 and Pillar 2, and Africa Initiative 2, and finally reinforce the networking with all LNI African actors. This includes organizing events and activities that promote networking and collaboration between all organizations in Africa and Europe. So, for EURAXESS Worldwide, we are in North America, Latin America, and Caribbean, India, China, Asia, Korea, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, and finally we are in Africa. So, you can see here the website of EURAXESS Africa, and you can use Google to put EURAXESS, and after that there is a tab of Worldwide, and in the Worldwide there is 9 hubs, and you can see here Africa in the top, and you can sign up for a free membership to EURAXESS Africa in this button. So for this is overview of 2022. There is a special year full of challenges with online events, meetings, face-to-face events, physical events, such info session, practical workshop related to how to draft proposal in Pillar 1 and Pillar 2. And you can see here our events in South Africa and participation in Kenya, Ethiopia, Egypt, Tunisia, Morocco, and also Senegal, Libya, Rwanda, Benin, Nigeria, and Cameroon. So here are some photos related to our activities in Africa, here in Morocco, in Kenya, here also in Kenya, and you can see here in South Africa and Egypt also. There is Research Mobility Day in December 2022. What can we do for you? First of all, promote EU national research landscape, promote EU funding opportunities, promote EURAXESS network, invite speakers from the network, and connect researchers with research labs. And How can we work together? First of all, let's share one another information. Invite us to present in your bilateral events, such online conferences, scientific events in your universities, in your laboratories. So please invite us, and we can present, we can animate such workshop or info session related to opportunities to opportunities given to African researchers by European organizations. So here, the third point, forward us requests about EU funding to go to your countries, and finally tell us how can we support you further. There is many ways to support you in order to have projects and to have opportunities, to make sure to have the opportunities given by Europe. Our tools are, first of all, the website, social media, flash notes, newsletter, info sessions, practical workshops, and many more. You can see here the website of EURAXESS, and if you can see the website EURAXESS, there is a lot of opportunities given to researchers as PhD positions and postdoctoral fellowships available in many countries in Europe. Here you can see also the events, and you can participate for all events, and you can subscribe. There is for free. For your access portal, there is plus than 2 million visitors per year and 1.2 million page view per month, and there is free use. For example, for EURAXESS jobs, you can see here more than 93,000 research positions already published in 2021. So save the date for our events related to Africa Initiative 2 and Work Program 23-24 for Horizon Europe. And there is event in Nigeria, focus in Nigeria, focus in Ethiopia, Senegal, and Mauritius. Join us, be informed, be proactive, click on this button and join our community of researchers. We are in LinkedIn, we are on Twitter, we are on Facebook, and our email is africa@euraxess.net. So free, easy, and valuable. Thank you for your attention. And dear Piero, I give you the floor.
Okay, many thanks, Ahmed. Very clear message. Join EURAXESS to be informed, to be updated about what is happening in our R&I cooperation between Africa and Europe, and all the events that EURAXESS is organizing. Also taking into account that EURAXESS is organizing drafting seminars, how to draft proposals for applying to our programs. Now, well, it's the moment of the testimonials. Your colleagues, your African scientist that or European scientist that has been involved in our cooperation, in our research programs, and can give their overview about the pros and the cons, the difficulties, the disadvantages, the frustration to be part of an European project, but also the big advantages, the advantages for their career, the advantages for their science, and well, also for their understanding of what is happening in Europe. I don't want to say too much. I already say too much. I'm very glad to give the floor to Riccardo Mereu of the Polytechnic University of Milan. Riccardo, I hope you are connected. I don't see you, but you have the floor, obviously. Ahmed, I don't see Riccardo among the speakers.
I will see if he is in the list of participants.
No.
No.
No, well, you can check. I mean, I didn't check. Attendees. No, I don't see him. No, I don't see him. Okay, well, let's see if the next speaker Albert Butarek, that is CEO of AESG in Rwanda, is with us. No, it's okay. Well, that's.
I have a feedback from Albert. He is facing a problem with the connection link. So let me sharing it again with him.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it again. And well, in the meantime, we can ask. Well, there are some questions concerning how to get out to. Well, I see he is already here with the wrong name, but we see Albert that is with us. We have the name of Leonard, but it's very good, Albert. You are connected, so please go ahead with your presentation. Very glad to hear you and to see you. You have to unmute yourself.
If you can activate your mic, please.
Okay.
So, yeah, so my name is Albert Butare. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of African Services Group. As you may know, we are headquartered in Kigali, but with the branch that especially deals with the LIPRI undertaking based in Nairobi, where Kibibi has been the lead. So I wish to say that, first of all, the experience I have from the LIPRI support really moves on very well with the current hot agenda, especially on the continent in regards with the energy innovations, but also with the response to climate change resilience undertakings. And I wish to say that the initiative is really appreciated because of the results, and it matches very well with also the direction, the orientation of the current initiatives undertaken literally everywhere in this space of energy and climate. If you take, for example, the Pillar 2 PIRAMs, the initiative we are undertaking on the clean cooking, this is, I would say, a hot theme right now with regards to assisting, especially in the developing world segment, where much as it's not really given the platform it deserves in terms of people that suffer through poor health resulted by heating and cooking, by using conventional sources, but also poor systems. That is something that is appreciated and is contributing a lot. So, and with that kind of appreciation and that platform, it has resulted into serious, strong initiatives in innovations. For example, I can tell you, besides the stove that has been promoted, or we are promoting under PIRAMs, we are also as ASG looking at a stove that not only is it cooking and heating very, very cleanly by using really handful of biomass resource compressed, but also it's used as a solar home system, I must say, because it provides light. It has a USB port where one can be able to plug in there and be able to connect to a radio. It is powered by just a small solar panel, and it has a small fan over there that accelerates the fire burning, but also provides those other results. So we are trying to promote that by pulling down the cost and see whether it's something that could help. Now, obviously, this is something that helps a lot if you look at countries where you have colder climates during winter in Kenya, in Rwanda, But the serious winter, for example, a country where I'm spending much of the time right now in Lesotho, where you have winter like you have in Europe or North America or something like that, such kind of initiative is really helping and bringing positive results. However, I wanted also to look beyond that and under this program to see, before I move on to that, on the programs which unfortunately the project is ending come September. And what I wanted to share from really the experience we have out here is coming up with an innovation and a prototype that works well is one thing. Having it taken over and being used and bringing impact is another thing. So investment in developing the technology is as good as an investment that goes into the promotion and be able to disseminate the technology to be taken up and be able to bring the serious impact that is expected. That is something that quite often is overlooked, but it's important. And I would urge that we look onto this as we consider to see the project ending, whether there will be possibilities of trying to come up with further support, and also on our side, trying to see whether we come up with matching contributions. Other areas we are trying to look at, which I think we would probably consider as a program, I don't know, in this phase or next phase, for example. And this is, again, where the world is moving on. First of all, we are looking at electronic transport, where we are right now working on charging batteries by using solar systems for be able to assist the e-mobility. The motorbikes is transport means that is expanding very much in Africa, but would wish to encourage using charged batteries instead of using diesels or petrol, which would help in terms of reducing the emissions. That is one thing we're looking at. Another thing we are currently trying to work on is also assisting most of the people in the segment of transport, but also other areas on how not only coming up with initiatives of reducing the greenhouse gases emissions, but also trying to see how we can translate those efforts into carbon credit revenues. So many efforts are being done, but benefiting from that is still a hazy area where many people don't really reap as it should be the revenues from that segment. So such are the initiatives we are looking up under the energy sector, but also other different initiatives that contribute under the mitigation measures to reduce the greenhouse gases, developing the determined country-determined contributions in many countries, which many countries are trying to work on. So NDCs, those are, again, people talk about it, but again, to translate the measures under the mitigation initiatives, going by the kind of initiatives I'm talking about, to be able to come up with countries meeting their commitments with response to Paris Agreement, but also trying to see how this initiative, which is a really good initiative, I must say, that we should try to see how we can align ourselves and see how we can benefit from the outcomes of the COP27 just ended, and see how we can be part of that. So I will probably try to wrap up by concluding saying that this initiative, beyond these ideas we are sharing, but also really the platform bringing us together and learning from each other to be able to, let me not say cut and paste, but to be able to use good practices successful in some part of the world to see how we can adapt to them, to see how we are moving on. Hydrogen technology, as I speak now in Lesotho here, an initiative of green hydrogen is being worked on in a hospital, which is really an isolated case. In fact, much better compared to the mini grid initiatives that are being worked on, running by solar. And with the fact that solar is a very good initiative, is a very good resource, but with its intermittency kind of character, that doesn't give it much benefits compared to hydrogen use. Hydrogen fuel cell is something that is like baseload 24/7, as compact. This is something that we have been, especially in this part of the world, we have been seeing it like a European kind of undertaking initiative, but right now I'm happy that initiatives are taking place. And this is something probably we might wish to consider under this program. So Leonard and the rest of the team, I'm thankful for this platform, and I'll be happy to respond to any questions should there be any. Thank you.
Okay, I'm connected. Many thanks, Dr. Albert, for your presentation about your participation to the project. Well, at this point, I think we are ready for questions. So I would ask you to raise your hand if you want to. Okay, I see already here a question. Well, maybe a volunteer for a question. In the meantime, if you don't mind, I would like to make the first one to my colleague Philip. Well, I see that in many calls, it's requested to have a participation from Africa, but also from Australia, from US, and from Europe. How the coordinators or the drafter of these proposals are expected to move, because it's not simple to have a connection in 3-4 different areas of the world like this.
Thank you, Pedro. I think what is sort of important to notice is those were sentenced in the topic. They were not eligibility condition. So, and it was in the sense of recommendation. When we say it's encouraged, it means it's not an obligation. And it sees as sort of, it would benefit if you have international cooperation. When there is more than one country, as an applicant, we are not asking you to have all the country mentioned. So it's for you what will fit better your projects. You decide if it's more an African partners that would be more beneficial to have in your projects, or maybe more an American partners or an Australian partners. To the extreme, if you think that, yeah, that would be great, I have to have the 3 of them. Well, hopefully you are in contact with those people to be contacted. So, and I think it's what the applicants or the consortiums that are promoting to submit an application. It's, I think for them they will contact their own network of people that they know. So in a sense, it's also to use the networks like EURAXESS, like Lipre is starting also to put together, to link, not to put together, to link people together. I think this is how I see that you create the networks that you can fit and maybe find an opportunity to participate in a consortium.
Okay, thanks. The idea anyway is to have to support, to fund projects from different areas of the world, or it can happen that there will be a strong focus on, for example, US or on Africa.
Yeah, no, it's seen that topic could benefit from an international component, and it's left to the consortium to decide where they want to have this international component. Some application may decide not to have one, but it's sort of this is an open opportunity. When we have those sentences, it means that we are pointing out that this topic is also of interest in those regions, and that could benefit that if we have an exchange or even a participation.
Okay, many thanks. Well, Hamed, I would give the floor to Sharif Dridi that raised his hand. Sharif, please, you can talk. Unmute yourself. Sharif, we cannot hear you. Okay, well, we have other questions. Okay, Charlotte is commenting. Next time, consider use slides. Thanks, Charlotte, for this advices on communication. And then, well, there is an anonymous that is struggling to get connection. Well, I have the same trouble, but no worry. We will have through EURAXESS. We will publish videos of this event. Then there is CASA that would like to know how we can get partnerships for project participation. Is working in the Ethiopian private sector. Philip, you want to reply?
Well, I can start as a reply in a sense by pointing out that you have here was presented two opportunities. You know, EURAXESS has an opportunity to maybe connect, if I understand what sort of you are doing, Ahmed, and also LIPRE with this sort of application that they're creating is also trying to create sort of type of linking the researchers together. I think this is sort of an attempt that we are trying to put the community together, and from Europe and from Africa. So I think this would be doors to join. The other is a link in my presentation on the national contact points. In sort of our website, we have the list of many of the national contact points. I don't know if you have that many for Africa, because it covers for us quite a number of countries, but quite many countries. And I think Ethiopia has one national contact points, but that, Piero, maybe you know better. And this, using the national contact points, is also a way for you to reach out to what is happening through these sort of activities. And they are trying sometimes to link projects or people together.
Yeah, thanks. If I can integrate what you say, I would highlight the importance of the role of national contact points. Basically, these are key people that are the essential essential point to connect and receive all the flow of information coming from Brussels about our programs, our calls, our opportunities, and transmit them to the scientific community in a country. We have countries that this system is extremely efficient, where, for example, no needs to mention South Africa. They have been working for many, many years, and as national contact, and their national contact point system is extremely efficient. Others that are struggling to get one person to deal as contact points. Take into account that the contact point can have also can also work as an informer of your activities, of your interest, to be part of an European project, contacting, addressing you, steering you, showing you the right partners you can address in Europe. And then you can also have another, if I can add some tip, you can also have another strategy. All the European countries have plenty of contact points. Usually they have contact points for any single subject. So for example, just to make an example, Germany or France or the Netherlands, they have a contact point dealing specifically with energy. And there are many chances that in these countries, there are scientists that are working to prepare, to brainstorm, to prepare a proposal for this topic. So if you get in touch with the contact points in this country, well, there are chances he can or she can address you to the right people and to enter into a proposal. if I can add one point, another option is also to use the portal. We have the tender portal where all the topics are published. In the same portal, you will find that a list of projects that are ongoing or we had in previous framework programs on the same subject. And you find the list of participants, or at least the coordinator of these projects. These obviously are key players in Europe, and there are chances they are also working to prepare a new proposal. So another option could be to get in touch with them. Something I didn't, okay, well, I finished saying that specifically for Ethiopia, we have a new national contact point that is extremely active, that is Dr. Solomon Benor, that is also the General Director of the Ministry of Education. And well, if you want to get in touch with him, I'm glad to say, as already Hamed mentioned, that the 9th of February, we will have a specific event focused on Ethiopia. So where also Solomon will be attending and presenting. So that's also can be a good opportunity to get in touch. It's over from my side. Well, yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, Piero, just I want to share my screen in order to add just a small demonstration about the use of the platform.
Go ahead, please.
Okay. So you see my screen here?
Yes, we see it.
Okay. Just I'm using Google and I put funding and tenders. So after that, the first link, this one. This is the link of the platform of funding and tender portal. So here there is all opportunities. So first of all, we can, for example, here click in search funding and tenders. After that, we have select a program period, and you can select for horizon. So here we can select we can select the period between 2021 to 2027. Okay, and there is a filter by program, and here you can see we can click on Horizon Europe. After that, we have the mission, we have destination, we have quick research, we have filter by goal, and you can, for the program part, click on, for example, here you can excellent science, global challenges, innovation Europe, and you can here click on climate, energy, and mobility. And here you can see all call topics already open for submission related to this thematic. And if, for example, we click in this call topic, you can see here more and more information about this call topic. There is the ID topic, okay? And here we can see the deadline model, single stage, the opening dates, the deadline dates, and you can see here topic description, destination, and all information. And here you can see partner search announcements. So if you can click here, you will see, for example, for this call topic, there is already many organizations look for partners. So here we have this organization from Italy, and this one from Poland, this one also, this one from France, Italy, and there is first way to find a partner in this call topic. So we need to contact already. You need to have a login and password in order to be connected in this platform. It takes maximum 3 and 5 minutes to have account. the LIR account ECAS. After that, we can connect and we can be able to contact this partner, and we can put a request or write email. We are organization from Africa, and we look to be in the consortium related to this topic, and our expertise is related to this point and this point, etc. So there is the first way to find partners, but also we have a second way, as already told by Piero. So you can click in support. After that, support overview. And for support overview, you can see here, where can I find the national contact point for Horizon Europe? If we click here, you will see, for example, the country group. And for example, for member states, there is, or associate countries. For information, actually in Africa, we have Tunisia, the first country considered as associate country in Horizon Europe, and there is Morocco in progress. So if you click, for example, in member states, and we look here, for example, from Italy, we look from Italy, and for the functions, here we click to climate, energy, and mobility. And what you see here is you can see all information about national contact point for this thematic, and you can enter in contact and write email in order to request to be a partner in the consortium related to this topic. So there is second way to have a possibility to be involved in Horizon Europe project in all thematics, but actually also in energy thematic. So that's it, Piero.
Thanks a lot, Ahmed. I think it's very clear, very useful. Thanks for this demonstration. I see Leonardo is raising hand, so it's.
Yes, thank you, Piero. Just to complement what Ahmed has presented, I want to share. 1 second, please. I want to share my screen because we've been launching this platform, which is quite complementary to the EC portal, in the sense that once you have been identifying a call that is relevant for you and that you are looking for a consortium, you can access here our network, or I'm sorry, because this is Europe and Africa, and where the partner organizations are located. So this is the entry through organization, and through partners, you can identify the individuals who are registered in the platform, and then you have a news feed in which you can directly exchange, discuss about potential collaboration and other opportunities. And we also are in collaboration with the Joint Research Center, who has launched the Africa Knowledge Platform, which is quite useful for our academic community. So that's all for me, and I share the link of the app in the chat.
Yeah, please. Thanks also for this demonstration, Leonard. And we have been requested to share in the chat all the links, and I see also Hamed is doing it for EURAXESS. So we have. Okay, we have one more question. Well, share the recordings. Well, we already say that we will share it. And don't hesitate if you have any question, any doubts, whatever. You don't be shy. You can write in question and answer. You can simply raise your hand and ask to be on live to talk and do it. Other points, colleagues. Albert, do you want to comment about for example, your experience working with Europeans? or you have found the financial part too complicated? How did you manage? And where have you found the main difficulties, but also the main advantages? You want to add something to your presentation?
Thank you very much, Piero. I would say, honestly, from the beginning of PRELIP, where I got involved during the beginnings in Brussels, and then obviously in the going, my colleagues took over to continue, but I follow very, very closely in the background. This has been a positive, really uphill climb and exciting as far as I'm concerned. For two things. One, there is motivation from partners and colleagues from the North. We have not yet really exhaustively or exhausted the partnerships in terms of utilization, the potentials existing in the North or in the South. For example, talking about these new initiatives, and I appreciate the presentations of Ahmed and Leonard in terms of us searching and being able to find partners. And I'm trying to refer to these upcoming technologies, for example, things like the green hydrogen, use of hydrogen as a fuel in Africa. Up in the North, there is advanced research, laboratories, research institutions that may assist to put our initiatives, research initiatives in the context and make it faster. While we try them on the ground. What we're looking for is the impact here on the ground. Such possibilities are there, but we are not yet exhausting them fully. And these platforms that are being discussed now, I think is something we may be able to look at and see how we can make best use of the partnerships exploration. I believe also the institutions, academic institutions, or other partners up there, they may be looking also for potential relevant partners in the continent. There are a number of initiatives. For the last 10 years, I must say, I've been working on projects funded by European Union, of course, on different schemes, different from this. Even what I'm doing right now, partly in the suit to assisting the NHS sector reforms, and looking up in the open on how we combine initiatives, a bit different. We are looking on how African private sector related initiatives can accommodate Team Europe initiatives in terms of investments on the continent, especially on these all new ventures. So I see this opportunity and encourage that this kind of discussion continues, where we continue to link up and see where gaps are and be able to enlighten to us where the such links and paths we can able to tap into them and be able to move on. So I appreciate this initiative, Piero. I appreciate the coordination by Leonard and the other parties. Dr. Philip Shields' intervention on how we can look at all these research works, research institutions up there and see how we can link them. It's well appreciated. So for me, challenges are there because it's wide, as you put it, right? We are looking at all these continental or intracontinental communication is not something that is easy in terms of priorities we are looking at. That may be different, but also in terms of geographical differences and timing. But with this kind of coordination, I think we can benefit from it. Thank you.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. A very, very, very good, very nice words. Well, what I want to make it clear that to participate to an European project is a complicated task. It's not something you can do in your free time in the evening. You have to work on it, get applied, to have ideas, to discuss with your international partners, to find international partners, and then contribute to draft a proposal. A proposal, well, I didn't receive answers on this, but this is a key issue. Who is the coordinator of the project? To be a coordinator of the project, you need experience, you need a knowledge of the financial and the administrative machine. So technically, we have some coordinators that are not in Europe. We have some coordinator also in Africa, but it's extremely complicated. So usually the coordinators are in Europe, but it's essential to be a partner of the project. So to participate to the construction and to the implementation of the project. This means to share first of all the IPR, the intellectual property of the project, to share the scientific work with all the publication, and to share the results of the project that must reach our society. Something I didn't say, but I think it's important because I thought that probably there are many young scientists among you. Well, there is a tool we didn't talk today, but it is the Marie Curie Sklodowska Action. This is a tool that offers opportunities to have a PhD, postdoc, or also grants for senior scientists to work or in Europe or with European community, scientific community, but not at a level of a group, just at private level. So a personal level. So there will be the scientists that will make a request to go, for example, for a PhD in an European institution, or universities can set up a network of institutions. There are different options, and I ask Ahmed to put the link to Marie Sklodowska-Curie in the chat. In the meantime, I see some questions. There is one dealing with the proposal selection process. I don't know if Philip, you want to reply, or I can do it. Up to you.
Well, let me just sort of find the question. I'm trying to find the question.
It's a question from Jenene Tesemamola from Ethiopia, I suppose.
Okay. Yeah, well, I can briefly mention. We have a very well developed and in-depth sort of selection process for application and the proposal. So obviously the first step is when you send your proposal, you will receive an acknowledgement of receipt, so that we have received your proposal. So that's first step. The second step, and it's done by our colleague in the executive agency now, is we check the eligibility of your application, so that you are really having all the minimum necessary conditions to submit the proposal. One is mainly on the composition of the consortium. So the basic eligibility condition of the consortium is to have 3 partners from 3 different member states and associated countries. That's why when in the topic I mentioned the eligibility condition of having, for example, 2 partners from 2 different countries. On top of those 3, the minimum of 3 partners, they need to have 2 more. Sorry, I'm making a gesture and you don't see. They're making 2 more. You need 2 more African partners to be eligible. So when we put that in a topic, we increase, in a sense, the difficulty, because we are telling the consortium, you need to have 5 partners minimum, 3 Europeans to simplify and 2 Africans. So when the eligibility check is done, the other part of the eligibility check, we are also looking at the application they are submitted for given topics is for these given topics. So that you are not submitting something which is not for the topics, but that sort of it's purely administrative. Then what we do, we convene between 3 to 5 experts in the field of that topic, and we give applications, so your application, to be evaluated by those independent experts. They do evaluate your application according to 3 main criteria. One is excellence. The second one is impact. And the third one is on implementation. So mainly we are looking at how excellent you are in the science and technology, then how good you will have an impact according to the impact that the topic says they are aiming to have. And the third one is how you are going to implement, and if your implementation makes that you are a good position to get a good results. So these are sort of the evaluation. So these are done individually by those, for example, 5 experts. Then we put those experts together in the same room. Well, we used to, but now it's sort of more virtual, a virtual room, and they discuss together your application and reach a consensus both in terms of comment and score of your application. At the end of the process, you will have a score between 0 to 15, 15 being the maximum. And there, depending on the threshold of the topic, usually it's like a threshold of 12. If you are above the threshold, you are considered for funding. And then according to the, then we make a ranking from the top score to the lower score. And then we go down in budget till we have no budget. And when we don't have budget, all the people above the budget line, if I can say so, or within the budget line, will be called to start the grant preparation and leading to a contract. The people below or outside the budget envelope will be in what we call a reserve list. And if we get extra money that we can spend on the topics, then we'll start looking and going down the ranking list according to the extra money that we have. So it's a very brief description. In fact, in the portal that Ahmed showed, you have also there all the evaluation process in all the details. In fact, you do have the full evaluation criteria for the instruments that we mentioned and the evaluation forms. So you could, in fact, almost do an evaluation of your application to see that do you fit and you answer the questions. I think it's also something when you write a proposal is to keep in the mind that you will have experts looking for the answer according to the evaluation criteria. So, and one way to, I want to say a good score, but it's sort of helping the experts to find easily the answers they're looking for. So that means a well-written proposal and easily readable. So that means, I don't know, Piero, you can add
No,
more.
it's perfect. You give a very detailed and perfect description, very, very clear. What I can add is that these experts are selected through a database. And this is also an interesting experience. You can put your CV in the database, and you can be selected also as expert. Obviously, if you are part of a proposal, you cannot be an expert because obviously you would have a very clear conflict of interest and you cannot be selected. But this can also be an experience because this could allow you to understand what is the process, how is it working, and how in Brussels this evaluation process is implemented. And well, and by the way, you also paid to do, obviously you are paid to do this job. So this can be also a rewarding experience. And when we have these topics that are focused on Africa, obviously we want also to have African experts in the panels. Let's say I see another question always from Tesema about infrastructure building in Africa. What is the view of the EU-Africa partnership in research in terms of supporting infrastructure in Africa? I think this is also for you, Philip.
Oops, I think it's partially for me. I think it's also for you.
Yeah, it's also for me, but it's well.
Well, the thing is, in terms of research activity, our topics do not contribute or pay for infrastructure. So So you cannot submit to build an infrastructure. Now I'm saying that in the topic I mentioned on innovation action, on demonstration, obviously the cost to build the demonstration will be eligible to the project. But that is not what we will consider as research infrastructure. You know, I think it's then in our partnership is to look, and there sort of I'm looking really at at Piero, is to look at other programs that we do have that can provide some funding to help you to build the research infrastructure in terms of laboratory, in terms of equipment that needs to be of large scale equipment. Obviously, the project itself, if you need a gas chromatograph, you can buy the gas chromatograph. But if you need, now I'm taking an extreme, you know, a synchrotron. No, sorry, the project cannot build a synchrotron. No, it's you have to find it somewhere else. So this is sort of a bit the distinction you are making. I don't know if Piero, you don't know, you have more link to the other programs.
Well, yes, I understand, and I thank you so much. It is helpful information. Thank you very much.
If there is one point I can add that in the Africa Initiative 2, so in the package of topics that are including opportunities in different areas, if I'm not wrong, there is also a topic on infrastructure for sub-Saharan Africa. And when we talk about infrastructures, obviously we think about labs, machines, or buildings, but we have also to think about data, sharing of data, opportunities to sharing data with Europeans and also in Africa. So, and this is also an issue that is becoming more and more important nowadays. Also, when we talk about open science, you know, the issue, for example, to share the opportunity to read scientific journals everywhere in the world. You know, in Europe, this is obvious for any university. Unfortunately, in Africa, this is not the same. So it's important also to have open access to research, and we are also working on this, for example. I hope we replied to your question.
Yes, yes. Just maybe if I may, just to add something.
Please go ahead.
Many of researchers in the university or research institute in Africa, the challenge is mainly the infrastructure, like the small equipment, like the one your colleague just mentioned. Where I'm not looking at just big infrastructure. I'm not asking like that. But basic infrastructure at the laboratory level are very much important for African scientists like ours, just to move on our day-to-day activities in the lab and teach students and postgrad students and so on. And also at the same time to share experience from our European partners. What is happening in Europe, and also some of them can be done in Africa as well. So we share information, as you said, and the information will be available in both sides. So I thank you for the information. It is helpful.
You're very welcome, and well, it's we are always here. With also, as I already mentioned, the 9th, we will have also another event focused on Ethiopia, for your information.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks to you. Okay, well, this is the last call for questions. If you have questions or doubts or something you want to say, please raise your hand. Okay, Albert, and then we have also Charlotte.
Thank you very much.
Albert, if you don't mind, I would give the floor to Charlotte, and then you will conclude later. Is it fine for you?
Sure.
Okay, thanks. Charlotte, please go ahead.
Thank you so much for the talk, and I've really learned a lot today. I wanted to ask Leonard, because he mentioned at the end of his talk of a contact point in Abuja, Nigeria. And I was wondering about Lagos, because I mean, you have nearly all of Nigeria living in Lagos. And if you don't have that geographical area, you know, represented or captured, you might be missing out on a lot. And I noticed that in West Africa, you don't really have much, like Ghana, Senegal, and so on. So my question was going to come to you, why not Nigeria? But of course, you mentioned Abuja later. And Abuja is still very far from Lagos. And I want to, you know, tell you that the collaborations might not be as swift as you would think. Okay, so, but maybe we can discuss that later. Maybe I can email you, but I wanted to raise that. And then my other question was to Ahmed from EURAXESS. We cannot, personally, I cannot access the chat box where he had a lot of links because we cannot write on the chat box. So it is also impossible to get out the links that he put there. So I was asking if they can be made available so that you didn't just paste them there for nothing. Thank you very much.
Thanks to you.
I hope I wasn't too fast, but I know you got me.
Yeah. It was perfect. Leonard, do you want to reply?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for this comment. Actually, you know, even if we have 85 partners, it remains a European funded project. So the way you compose the consortium sometimes remains opportunistic in a certain extent. So we cannot cover all the areas nor sectors within the consortium. But our ambition is to attract a broad community of stakeholders. So indeed, you're right, we should get in touch with the appropriate level of decision making. And this is why I think the implication of the EU delegation in the countries is very useful when we get in touch with them, to get also connection with the local ecosystem, to have the good contacts to discuss with and to connect it with our project portfolio. For instance, in one project on geothermal, we are working in the EUD in Ethiopia to see how our project can complement an already ongoing action in the country funded by the European Commission. So thank you for the comment.
Thanks to you both. Well, I see we have Jetinet Melesse that also raises hand. You have just 2 minutes because we are finalizing our 2-hour session. Please, you have the floor. Unmute yourself. Jetinet, you have Melesse, you have to unmute yourself if you want to talk. Okay, in the meantime, I see there is a last question, when there will be the next round of calls. We have a continuously calls, and you can find all the information in the portal that Ahmed just showed to you. What is suggested is to start very well in advance. A few days ago, in one of an event similar to this one of the testimonials say you have to start to work on a proposal 6 months in advance. So just to give you a feeling how long it takes to write a good proposal. Obviously, today we have Philip has shown some topic that will with deadline in 2 months. This means that it's the best option for you is to get in touch with someone that is already working on this, and to find an agreement with them to get involved into the proposal. Last call for Jetinet Melesse. You want to say something? Okay, so I give the floor to Albert for.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Yetinette, please go ahead.
No, only for appreciation. It's very interesting. I've got a lot of information. It's very interesting time for me. I want to say thank you very much. And that's all for and
You're very welcome. Thanks. Thanks for this. I give the floor to Albert. Albert, 1 minute, and then we have to finalize.
Less than that. So thank you very much.
Okay.
It's just trying to insist on what I said in the passing on having successful research innovation outcomes and leave it there. If for the assessment of the funding and our research orientations and innovations should try to just go beyond that to some extent so that we monitor the impact our research innovation outcomes are bringing on the ground. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks. Very, very clear message. Well, Philip, you want to say a few words to conclude?
Well, I will be very brief. The ball is in your camp, in your side. So I'm sort of just now waiting for having and receiving your wonderful applications, and that at the end we get excellent proposal. And as Dr. just said now, is that those proposals and your results will make an impact on the ground, and that will show what research can provide and can contribute.
Great. Thanks a lot. Leonard?
Yes, I would like to thank you again. And if you want to contribute to the organization of the event and actively engaging in the community, you are more than welcome.
Great, great. And Hamed, to last but not least.
Yeah, just try please to connect to EURAXESS Africa website. We will update and add all information and all links and all opportunities.
Good. Also from my side, thanks a lot. Many thanks to all the speakers that has been participating to this event. Many thanks to you for attending, for your question, for your participation. And as Philip said, now it's the ball is in your field. You have to work to prepare proposal, to get involved, to read and to read what has been suggested in the website and go on with this. Big hug from my side and good luck.